Well, I remember the moment when the idea for student living came. We were in a discussion about housing and about how to make the experience in the apartments for our students even more effective and more powerful. And the idea came to put the responsibility on them, to move from a model where we were using resident assistants to check up on things, to move to something where the students took responsibility. And that meant we had to educate and teach and really help them take responsibility for what happens in their apartments. And from there, that basic idea, which I think came by revelation, has developed over a number of years as we have learned how to make that initial idea a reality. And the first thing that really happened was we saw we needed to integrate our efforts with the wards and the stakes. We need to use the keys of the priesthood as well as the instruction and counsel and teaching from the university to really make student living a reality in the apartments of our students. The university and the wards and stakes, both institutions of the church, have to work together to bring about effective student living in every apartment in that ward or in that stake. And so that's why the wards and stakes are absolutely essential to making student living a reality in those apartments. If you think about it, a student is in an apartment which is part of approved housing of the university. They are a student of the university, so the university has an interest in what goes on in that apartment. That's why we came up with student living in the first place. But that student also lives in a ward governed by priesthood keys, which you have the ecclesiastical leaders concerned about what happens in that apartment. Wards and stakes are crucial to student living. The ward and the home evening group is the vehicle through which the student living principles are taught. We've got a great student living manual that our folks have created. It's powerful. And the wards and stakes take those tools, those materials, and they take them into home evening groups. So it's crucial that the wards and stakes consistently deliver student living lessons and out of the manual in home evening groups. And as they do that, you can really see the impact that it has. I think it's also important to recognize that stake presidents and bishops, where this really works, they take responsibility for student living. They think of student living as an essential element of their ministry, and therefore they take opportunity in sacrament meetings, in priesthood, Relief Society, to teach the principles of student living outside of the home evening context, so that students are introduced and immersed in those principles, both in home evening as well as in other settings in their wards. I think where that happens, student living is effective.